Welcome back to Grammar Grade 12. This is Unit 1, Lesson 12, and it's the one that finishes the unit. We've already walked through nouns, pronouns, verbs, adjectives, adverbs, prepositions, and conjunctions. Today, we add the final two parts of speech, the conjunctive adverb, which connects two complete ideas, and the interjection, which lets a little feeling burst onto the page. Master these two, and you'll have all 8 parts of speech in hand. Let's finish strong. Let's meet the conjunctive adverb. This is a special connecting word. It joins two complete thoughts, two main clauses, and it tells you how they relate. Does the second idea follow as a result of the first? Does it push back against it? Does it add to it? Words like however, therefore, moreover, and consequently do exactly that job. Take this sentence. The evidence was thin, therefore the jury hesitated. Therefore is the bridge. It signals that the second clause is the result of the first. That's the heart of it. A conjunctive adverb connects two main clauses and shows the relationship between them. Now the punctuation. And this is exactly where students slip. When a conjunctive adverb joins two main clauses, you need 2 marks, one on each side. A semicolon comes before the adverb, and a comma comes after it. Watch. Snow fell all night. Therefore, school was closed. See the semicolon before therefore, and the comma after it, giving you a small breath. Snow fell all night is a complete sentence. School was closed is a complete sentence too. The semicolon and the adverb join them into one. Semicolon before, comma after. Say that to yourself every single time. There are quite a few conjunctive adverbs, so it helps to sort them by the job they do. Some show contrast. However, nevertheless, nonetheless. The second idea pushes back against the first. Some show result. Therefore, consequently, thus, hence. The second idea follows from the first. And some show addition. Moreover, furthermore, besides, also. The second idea piles more on. A few others you'll meet are then, instead, indeed, and otherwise. But here's the good news. Whichever one you reach for, the punctuation never changes. A semicolon before it, a comma after it, every single time. Now the very last part of speech in this unit, the interjection. An interjection is a word or short phrase that expresses feeling or emotion. Oh, wow. Ouch. Well, hey. Alas. Hooray! Here's what makes it unusual. An interjection has no grammatical connection to the rest of the sentence. It doesn't act as a subject or a verb or anything else. It simply bursts out and stands apart. And because it stands apart, we set it off from the sentence with punctuation, either a comma or an exclamation point, depending on how strong the feeling is. So which mark do you use? It comes down to a single question. How strong is the feeling? For a mild interjection, a small nudge of emotion, use a comma. Well, we can always try again. See how well just eases us in, followed by a gentle comma. But for a strong interjection, a real burst of feeling, use an exclamation point. Wow! The view goes on forever. That wow deserves its own punch of surprise, so it gets an exclamation point, and the next word starts with a capital. Gentle feeling, a comma. Big feeling, an exclamation point. Let's boil the whole lesson into a quick check. 1. Are two main clauses being joined by a word like however or therefore? Then it's a conjunctive adverb. 2. If so, Put a semicolon before it and a comma after it. 3. Is there a word that simply bursts out with feeling and stands apart from the sentence? That's an interjection. And 4. If the feeling is mild, set it off with a comma. If it's strong, use an exclamation point. 4 quick questions, and you can handle both of these parts of speech with confidence. Let's practice. In this first set, each sentence uses a conjunctive adverb to join 2 main clauses. Your job is to choose the punctuation that belongs right where the adverb sits. Pause the video and decide before I reveal each answer. Here we have 2 complete sentences. The bridge was closed and the ferry still ran, joined by however. Which marks belong around it? A semicolon before the conjunctive adverb and a comma after it. So the answer is semicolon before, comma after. 2 full sentences here. I studied for weeks and the exam felt fair, linked by therefore. Remember the pattern for a conjunctive adverb, a semicolon on the left, a comma on the right. So this one is semicolon before, comma after. Which word is the conjunctive adverb? Look for the word that joins the 2 main clauses and shows how they relate. The forecast looked grim. Nevertheless, the picnic went ahead. Nevertheless is the one. It links the clauses and signals the contrast. So the conjunctive adverb is nevertheless. Now each item has an interjection. Decide how to set it off. A comma for a mild feeling, or an exclamation point for a strong one. Or, in the last one, simply spot the interjection. Pause and choose before I answer. Ouch! That thorn went right through my glove. Is the feeling mild or strong? A sudden jolt of pain is strong, so ouch deserves a full burst, not a gentle comma. The answer is an exclamation point. Well, I suppose we could wait a little longer. Here the feeling is gentle. Well, just eases us into the thought, with no burst of emotion at all. A mild interjection like that takes a comma. So the answer is a comma. Which word is the interjection? Find the word that expresses feeling and stands apart from the rest of the sentence. Hooray! Our team finally won the championship. Hooray is the burst of emotion here. It plays no grammatical role in the sentence, so the interjection is hooray. Let's gather up what we learned. First, conjunctive adverbs. Words like however, therefore, and moreover join 2 main clauses and tell you how the ideas relate. Second, punctuate them carefully. A semicolon before the adverb and a comma after it every single time. And third, interjections express feeling and stand grammatically apart from the sentence. Set off a mild one with a comma and a strong one with an exclamation point. And with that, we've reached the end of Unit 1. You now know all 8 parts of speech. In the next unit, we turn to the parts of the sentence, subjects, predicates, and complements, where you'll see how these very words come together to build a sentence. Nicely done, and I'll see you in Unit 2.